Troopers and grinders, it's time for the big one. That's right, the big kazooie, the hallelujah, the Burt Reynolds Theta, the Mount Kazooie. Yeah, I've the big scheme. Yeah, see, we're gonna knock over a train, see? Yeah, see? But yeah, this is a big ass stream. I was planning it for last night, but circumstances got in the way of that. But I'm still here. Troopers and Grinders finally was able to manage a time, and now we're doing it. Big old recap of both UFC from Saturday and WWE from Saturday and Sunday. First two-night SummerSlam in wrestling history, WWE history in particular. But did they live up to the hype? Or did they crash and burn and like a lot of modern WWE stuff does? We'll just have to find out, Troopers and Grinders. So come along with Hank the Tank as he breaks down everything that happened in both worlds. Basically a review of TKO at the moment. Both of their children, you know. So without further ado, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. Starting with the usual, we have got UFC Fight Night. Oh, there he goes. Let me share. There we go. First, we had, God damn it, Social Security. Who gives a shit? Well, actually, I do care about Social Security, just not, on my screen at the moment. First, we had Fight Night, Tyra versus Park, and Piera Rodriguez against Ketlin Souza. This was a very close fight. Aside from maybe one or two fights, is the closest I'd come to losing a pick. By the way, guys, I went 12-2 on the UFC Fight Night. Apex cards tend to shine on me a little bit. They tend to give me a layup every once in a while, so got to count my blessings there. Piera Rodriguez versus Ketlin Souza. What I can recall of this fight is Piera Rodriguez getting the takedowns when she needed to. Good enough on the feet that she managed to avoid a lot of damage from the way of Ketlin Souza, and just mostly just being the bigger woman and finding the takedown and dominant positions when she needed to get them. And honestly, guys, I could say that of most of the fights on this card. Ketlin Souza's doing better with the combinations, putting her hands together, and then Piera Rodriguez, takedown, wham, wham, wham. Guess none of that prior progress matters at all, and she gets into side control, and that basically does it for 2 out of the 3 rounds. Piera Rodriguez wins a split decision. I got real scared, guys. I thought Ketlin Souza might have won it, but they gave it to Piera anyway. So Alex Piera got it done by split decision, and was feeling good. Going into the second fight. Rafael Estevam against Felipe Bunes. Again, aside from the miraculous armbar from Felipe Bunes, I really didn't think he had a chance of beating Estevam here. Estevam's just kind of wrestler where if he takes you down, the round's pretty much over. Not a lot of chances of recovering, getting back up, mounting a comeback, offense. It just doesn't really happen. Hey, Charles Smith, good to see you. Good picks. Yeah, this time, turned the old train back around. Went from like 50-50 picks, 7 out of 12, if I'm lucky to. If you check the UFC predictions trackers recap of all the predictions, all the results of the fight night, I placed in the top predictors when it came to predicting the methods of victory for this card, actually. So I did place highest on the video in some aspect. It was weird because he said I got like 5 or 6 out of 11, and I gave him 12, but hey, I'll take it, if I get featured on the video. But damn, I'm honestly shocked that I didn't get on the most accurate predictors for that video. I got 10 out of 12, I think somebody had 11 out of 12, and that put them over the edge. But then there's just a bunch of like 10 out of 11s, 9 out of 10s, 5 out of 6s, and it's just like, oh great. I guess in order to get on the list, you just have to not pick pick like 50% of the fights. That makes sense, right? Weird. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to count this as a W myself. But Estevam, again, he's sort of like a wet carpet type. He was able to get some good offense on Felipe Boons. There was a point where Boons like threw up a random ass like omoplata style submission, and Estevam was just stuck in a position. This is why it's so stupid for people like Joe Rogan to say, people forget, man, there could have been no endless rounds. There could have been the end of rounds, and it all ends when someone gets a submission. People forget, man, you don't have to have a cage. You could just have ramps. Like, every Estevam fight would be the worst fight in existence if they had mats and ramps instead of a cage. That'd be absolutely atrocious. Every fight would look like the fucking Karate Combat submission grappling series. Horrible. So thank God we go round by round and we can restart fights when we need to. And Estevam just drowned Felipe Boons, pretty much. All Boons had were some miracle submissions for him to throw up, and those didn't work at all. So instead, Estevam just got the takedowns when he needed to. It was actually, he's really good at taking people down. They look like flawless when he executes them. So I don't know. I enjoyed the fight. I like a vintage Rafael Estevam performance. So that's why I picked him by decision and got it done. I also managed to get this fight right here perfect between Austin Bashi and John Yanis. I had Austin Bashi to win via spider monkey on John Yanis's back. This is not the monkey on Usman's back that he was able to get off, a couple months ago. Able to get that monkey off his back. In this case, the monkey stayed on Yanis's back, and vintage Bashi performance just takes him down immediately. He's just hanging onto the freaking legs, like super glue, and then just finagles his way onto the back of Yanis, standing rear naked choke, tap, 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 easy as that. And yeah, I thought that was what was going to happen. Bashi's very good at getting people down and just scrambling his way to the back, and that's what he did. So congrats to Austin Bashi. It was tough having C-Rod as a freaking first opponent. I don't know what sadists are on the UFC's booking staff, but apparently quite a few, because they keep putting these prospects against Austin Bashi, and it's not cool, guys. It's not cool. Anyway, Bashi wins. And then we had the first of a few body kick finishes on this card. We had Andre Polyaev against Nick Klein, blue collar brother. Oh, sad stuff. Nick Klein was actually doing pretty well with the wrestling, able to get Polyaev down, was mounting some pretty good offense on top, smothering Polyaev. And, the commentary team was like, oh, man, Polyaev needs a comeback. Oh, he needs to do something big right now. And lucky for me, Andre Polyaev did exactly that and just wham, hit Nick Klein's ribs with his leg like a fucking baseball bat right to the side. Klein was immediately sort of curling up a little bit. And then Polyaev was just hitting him with that right hand, bam, bam, pitter patter. And Nick Klein was just eating him like candy. And down goes Nick Klein. Pretty simple, man. All Polyaev needed to do was make some space on the feet, and then he just finished him off. The Beast and Carnage, Brock Lesnar is back. He is. And I will get to him later on the show. But it's not in Carnage. It's the Beast Incarnate. I don't know if that was an autocorrect or not, but it's the Beast Incarnate. Klein has no gas tank. Yeah. He doesn't, because in round 2 he got finished by Mansour Abdul Malik, and then the thing about these fast starters is that they wear out real quick. Like, if they can't find the finish, they put everything into that first round, and then they just lose that energy very quickly. Yeah, it was autocorrect. Stupid autocorrect. We all hate it. We all hate autocorrect, right? Not a big fan of autocorrect, and we hate that, and we're looking into it very closely. But Andre Polyaev, all he needed to do was keep it on the feet, bam, body kick, down goes Klein. And then our fifth fight of the night, we had old Rodolfo Vieira against Trayshawn Gore. This was honestly sort of a snoozer. I mean, they traded a little bit, and honestly, Vieira was doing pretty solid on the feet against Trayshawn Gore because, look, dude, Gore hasn't even had 10 professional fights yet, and it just looked sort of awkward and amateurish on the feet. Vieira, meanwhile, I mean, he didn't look that great either, but, you know, he's the jiu-jitsu guy. He's not supposed to. But even he was putting some damage on Trayshawn Gore, making him feel it. Managed to scoop up his legs for the takedown fairly easily. And then when he was on the back, he was just trying to lock in some submission stuff, beating up Gore a little bit. You know, very simple game plan. I don't think at any point Gore tried to jump the ghillie here. It was just a back and forth fight, and Vieira just came out of it the victor. Gore looked bad this fight compared to the Tulio fight. Yeah, I mean, just the thing about Gore is that he's just lousy on the feet, but he's tough. And that's why he's able to get through the fights rather, you know, I mean, he suffers quite a few scratches. He gets bloodied up, but he can take it. I mean, he had a little success against Tulio and was hitting him with some big shots. Against Vieira, he just couldn't find any for some reason. Vieira looked like a kickboxer, which is very good, which is honestly probably the move that he needed to take because Petrosky was taking him down, but Petrosky also, you know, kept it on the feet and was just sort of piecing up Vieira a little bit and making him uncomfortable. So I'm glad that Vieira sort of cleaned up that aspect of his game in this and made it competitive with Trayshawn. If he keeps on working on his stand-up, this guy could be a killer, honestly, because he has the BJJ and the submission ability to be a threat already. But if he combines that with really clean boxing, like he could actually make a run if he wanted to. So especially at middleweight. So good work from Vieira. Very good work. And made me proud. Made me proud, damn it. Although I did have Vieira by submission. So that was a little bit of a letdown. And then sixth fight, we had Rinya Nakamura. Speaking of fighters that made me super proud, Rinya Nakamura manages to knock out Nathan Fletcher, dude. Amazing. The old Rinya Nakamura is back, people. We are so back. You're as beautiful as the day that I lost you, Rinya Nakamura. Nakamura, great bounce back, and we like that. Make Nakamura great again, and that's what we did. But yeah, Nakamura, I think he learned from Andre Polyev what to do against these pasty, tall white guys, because he threw a kick right to the, oh God, was it the left or the right side? I forget. I think it was the left side of Nathan Fletcher, and Fletcher didn't like it. Immediately starts to crumble, and then Nakamura just hitting him with those huge shots. Left side. Okay, I was right. But he basically just did what Polyev did and was like, "Hey, I'll make that work." It sort of reminds me of Chris Padilla getting that big elbow knockout on Rongzu, if you remember that from way back. When he saw Superlek get that elbow on Jonathan Haggerty, and he was just like, I can do that. Bam, there's the elbow. And, you know, I love it when fighters just learn from stuff they immediately just saw, and we're just like, I can do that. You know, it shows the studious nature of the academic nature of some fighters, which can be really good for certain fighters. Like if you learn from something you just saw like a week ago and you're able to execute it, you can be in pretty damn good shape. Like that's a sign of good fight IQ. That elbow was nasty. Yeah, it was nasty stuff. Very enjoyable to watch too. Yeah, Rinya Nakamura put it on Nathan Fletcher, and I'm bummed for Fletcher because I actually really like Fletcher. And I think he won that fight against Callum Loughran. That was a great fight too. So just to see him get treated like a bum basically is just sort of tough. 1 second. Oh, damn it. Anyway, yeah, Rinya Nakamura put it on Nathan Fletcher and looked like the Nakamura of old, who was just a killer on the feet, one punch knockout, which is what we needed from Rinya, especially after that performance against Gafarov. Hello, Vinny. If you want to hop on panel, I can provide you the link, but for now, I'm just going through the fights. And then we had Kevin Vallejos against Danny Silva. Honestly, sort of a disappointing performance from Vallejos, in my opinion. Danny Silva, say what you will about him, if not that he's tough. And he stayed in there against Vallejos. Had a nice scrap with them. Some people were like, "Oh, it's another fight of the year contender." I don't think so. I think it was an all right little back and forth fight. Even if it was fight of the year, I'd be embarrassed for Vallejos because he's not supposed to be having fight of the year contenders this low down the featherweight division. But honestly, in my opinion, I think Vallejos looked almost flawless here. Didn't get hit by Danny Silva hardly at all. His problem was just putting his combinations together, but every single time he threw out that right hook or that right overhand, it would just crack Silva like right on the chin. Perfect. Yeah, Silva was definitely in trouble for most of this thing. He was tough. He was, California tough, but Vallejos is just a different beast at featherweight. He's very technical and sound and very fast. People forget, man, he put it on Gene Silva and gave him his toughest fight. He's still his toughest fight in the UFC. So I still have a lot of hope for this kid, Kevin Vallejos, but honestly, I think he should have put away Danny Silva at some point. I think he should have been more accurate. I think he should have been more devastating with his striking. I think he really could have put Danny Silva away at some point if he wanted to, but wasn't able to do it. Good to see you, Vinny. Vinny. Matua is here. Hello, Matua. Vallejos looked good. Took his time against a gritty Danny Silva. Old crafty vet. Yeah, he did look good. It's just maybe it's just because it's Danny Silva, but I hope he hasn't lost his killer instinct because of this. I hope he's still got that power to just put away whoever he wants because he, in the featherweight division, he sort of needs it. Like the stream. Thank you, Vinny. The reason he's got that wrench. Silva has a crazy chin. He does. Yeah. Again, it's Latin. Sort of Latin heritage toughness, just happens sometimes. Ankith, Hassa, dude. Hey, Hank, hello, Northwest. Good to see you. Anakin, what up? What's up, Northwest? Hope all is well. All right. The gang's all here. Well, not all of them, but a good selection of the gang is all here. But yeah, Kevin Vallejos, I think his performance was impressive. I just hope that he can keep putting fools away early in his fights because he's just going to need that, But other than that, good job, Kevin. Then we had a fight between Neil Magny and Elizeu Zaleski, and thank God Neil Magny won against Zaleski, and I called it. Big Onk might have to eat his words just a little bit because he did say that Magny was cooked, he's washed. Look at these people that he's lost against. Knocked out back-to-back in his fights, but you know what? So was Alexander Volkanovski, and Neil Magny showed why he was still in the UFC, turned back the clock, took down Elizeu Zaleski when he needed to, and just that long frame of his with just taller, better reach, just allowed him to dominate Elizeu Zaleski for the most part. Now, to be fair, Zaleski also did get Magny down in moments, and things looked sort of scary for a second, but Magny would find a way to turn it around and get himself back on top, and eventually just completely flattened out Zaleski, which was very impressive. Made him sort of look like Mike Malott a little bit, if you know. But Neil Magny, I'd say, dominated this for the most part, used his reach advantage to his advantage, maintained the distance, jabbed him up, jabbed his face off, kept throwing straights, and Zaleski eventually just had to grapple, and then Magny turned it around and dominated. So congrats to Neil Magny. He's like tied for 5th or 6th with most wins in UFC history and most wins in welterweight history. So pretty impressive stuff. Neil Magny still got it. Yes, he does. And I couldn't be happier for him, man. After the last couple fights he's been through, I think he's earned it, and hopefully Gilbert Burns turns back the clock too against D-Rod. Jesus. Anka eat my hot peppers at the mosque now while doing shura with the imam. All the kids call me no reaction. I did say that's true. This is true. If he fights another prospect who has power, I think that they beat him. Yeah. The chin's getting old, just like everything else about him. Alizu's on his way out anyways. Yeah, that's sad, but it's true. Neil Magnificent, that's pretty good. Neil Magnum PI. or Neil Balls of Steel. Balls of Steel Neil. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Let's see. Mystic name opportunity, huh? Yeah, Magnificent could have been good. You're right. And I'm thinking of some other ones that I could potentially have for him. Neil before Zod. That's based, Vinny. You have that aura. He does. He has all the aura. I mean, he literally has enough aura that he can teleport objects using his mind. He's got that Charles Xavier shit. Why can't Gilbert Burns and Magni drink the life force of Blood Diamond instead of fruity CKB? Oh, God. They're in city kickboxing? Really? Oh, that's horrible. True. That's God forbidden. Thanks, Song, bro. Everyone said I'm glowing today. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Allah. Allah. I got a tan and white thobe on aura maxing. Hell yeah. Let's go. Vinny getting ahead in life, and you'll love to see it. Anyway, next fight. We got Carosas taking on Nora Cornell. And this is one of the two fights that I got wrong on the Fight Night card. Nora Cornell, she surrendered, told the takedowns. She had no grappling, and she let her frog legs get eaten right up by Cara Rosa, no BD. Cara Rosa came in blitzkrieging like she's Germany, and she surrendered. It was tough for old Nora Cornholio. Old Nora Croissant just sort of took it, just got taken down and just had absolutely nothing for Carol Rosa. And, this was just sort of hard to call because Carol Rosa went 3 rounds with Irene Aldana and didn't shoot one takedown or shoot a takedown in her fight after that. And yet she's able to just outgrapple Nora Cornholio with ease and make it look easy. So there was no inclination to pick Carol Rosa in this one. Pirouette, chocolate hazelnut pepper rich farms. Why am I even thinking of that? Chocolate wafer sticks. I swear Cornell just sort of reminds me of Cornetto. I think it reminds me of Cornetto. There you go. I found another pun for Vinny. Yeah, Carol Rosa just decided to be a wrestler. Oh, you're a wrestler now. Hold up for the Stockton motherfucker 916. What up? Huh? Conor McGregor. Hey, I took down Cornell, made it submit. I'm not surprised, motherfucker. So, congrats to Carol Rosa. Hooray. I actually like Carol Rosa. So you know what? I'm happy. Nora Cornell is just a man. So. Then your wife is me wife. Your wife's in my DMs. Jolie's wife. It ain't over, P-head. Do something about it, yeah? You silly little hillbilly. Who the fuck are these guys? I'll tell you who they are, troopers and grinders. They are the fight of the year contenders, starting with Esteban. And we got a rare double bonus for fight of the night for both these fights. And you know what? They are very well deserved, my friends, because both these 4 people went to war for you guys, dude, for you guys. starting with Esteban an actual war, not just like teep kicking and throwing out jabs at range. All expenses paid trip to a Neil Magny family barbecue or free Outback Steakhouse delivered to you whenever you want. I think I'd take an expenses paid trip to a Neil Magny family barbecue so that I could see them put old Ian Gary on the spit, and they're just, they're just turning him over and rotating him and making sure that every side of his pasty ass body is cooked all the way through, and then they'll have and Layla can just watch. Layla and the kids can just watch as they eat Ian Gary alive, no Diddy, and just fucking get their hands on him and squeeze the life out of him. That'd be pretty good, Happy Neil Magny and his family having a barbecue while Ian Gary's tied up in the basement, and they get out the tasers and the car battery to tie to his fucking nutsacks. That'd be pretty good. Anyway, can you tell that I don't like Ian Gary? Anyway, Esteban Ribovic against Elvis Brenner. This was a hell of a fight. Esteban Ribovic. I mean, these two were honestly, it's tough because on one hand, Ribovic should be better than Elvis Brenner, but it seemed like even though he was always the one pressuring forward, because he was the taller fighter, he just like kept getting cracked. Like every time he stopped punching, he just, and then he'd rally back and he'd hit Brenner with some good shots and bang, bang, boom, boom, and just beat up Elvis. And Elvis has left the building, my friends. But he's tough. Elvis is very tough. Oh, don't step on his blue suede shoes. He's doing the Jailhouse Rock after this one, guys. But now I'm spending my days over here. Heartbreak Hotel in Israel. Heartbreak is so lonely, baby. Heartbreak is so lonely, mama. Heartbreak is so lonely, you could die. Well, but Ribovic, even though he was better on the front foot, whenever he stopped throwing, he'd just get cracked with something. His head would snap back. And I think that's why he always ends up having these close fights, because he gives some and then takes some immediately. What's the word for it? Oh, God. He takes some to give some. Every single time he has to take it to give it. And he can't just have a perfect performance where he doesn't get touched, unless it's Terrence McKinney, of course, in which case he can just head kick him out of nowhere. But Brenner, he kept himself on the feet for the most part. Was able to get some nice slick counters on Ribovic by the end of the fight. Both men were bloodied up, but Ribovic just always has more in the tank, dude. He has to deliver 2 for every 1 punch he takes, and that's always what ends up clinching him these wins in these fights. Just manages to overcome a lot of adversity. Almost always is the one who gets bloodied up first and beaten up, and then he gives the freaking beatings, Layla's in the corner, convincing his girlfriend to watch her Magny get cucked. Yeah. And then Magny is just like, okay, I'm gonna sit in the corner. I got my stool over here, and I'm gonna, whenever your boy gets out of line, you gotta give him a spanking. That's what I'm gonna give. I'm gonna give Layla a spanking. And he sits in the Magny stool as Layla and his wife get it on. Just classic UFC family. Yes, my boy. I always liked you, Lloyd. Always liked you. And you know what the Donner family had to do to survive, right, Danny? They had to eat each other. That's right. They had to eat each other to survive. Yeah, and there were only a couple people left, and they'd roasted each other's feet and eaten each other's flesh. Where'd you hear that from, Danny? I saw it on television. You hear that, Wendy? Watched it on the television. Are Ribovic and Carlos Prado the same person? I've never seen them together. Well, I mean, the difference is, Mr. C, that Ribovic doesn't wear glasses, and Carlos Prado, he does wear glasses. So, So it's Yeah, it's a clear difference there. You know, one is able to wear glasses and nobody notices, and the other doesn't wear glasses and has a red cape and a blue outfit. So clearly different people. But yeah, Rubovic is just tough as a boot. It's always what ends up winning him these fights. Always goes to war for you guys. And the next show that he has better be in front of a damn crowd. I'll tell you that much, guys. But yeah, Rubovic wins against Brenner. Both these guys are warriors. It's perfect matchmaking, but Rubovic is just too persistent and has too much in terms of physical advantages. So it's what earned him the win here. And then we had Chris Duncan against Mateusz Rebecki. This was tough. I think Duncan did win the fight, honestly. I do think Rebecki won the first round, though, but then Duncan just swarmed back and was just cracking him with huge shots. Surprisingly, the fight was mostly on the feet. I'm sad that Rebecki didn't shoot one takedown. He probably could have won if he did it, but Rebecki looked very good early, dropped Duncan. Duncan always gets dropped early. He's putting it on him, and then Duncan just used his height advantage for the second and third rounds and was just pasting Rebecki up with shots and very slick combinations. And his training at ATT is clearly helping him along the way, and he's looking very good. So shout out to ATT for just continuously improving Chris Duncan and his striking. Didn't need to jump the gilly this time. Very, very sad, very sad. He would have really made a name for himself if he got 3 gillies in a row, but it was not to be. He couldn't do it for his boy, Dustin Poirier. Yeah, Mateusz Rebecki just let himself get hurt way too much. Dude literally had just hematomas on both sides of his head. Looked like a mess after round 1. That's very hard to overcome when you already look like you've just been hurt over and over again. It's never going to make a good impression. And apparently didn't make a good impression with the judges because they gave 2 rounds to Chris Duncan. I understand it. He was beating up Rebecki towards the end of that. Rebecki did fire back with some good shots, but yeah, Chris Duncan just too fast, too much ingenuity with his striking. Just good at getting around the guard of Rebecki, and it's just tough when you're a tiny ass dude and taller guys just get to beat you up a little bit, basically. That's what Duncan did. Now, he did get touched up, too. He was getting beaten up by Rebecki in moments, but over time, the youth advantage really pushed him over the edge to let him just beat the crap out of Rebecki. And it's tough, man. It's tough for Mateusz. Dude's getting beaten up in every fight now. Guy is just, he isn't going to have a face by the time he's done with UFC. Like, literally, he's just going to have his face stitched on, So. Interesting. We got some sign language from Sniff. I don't know what the last one is, though. I don't know what the last part of that is. Socrates' philosophies hypothesis can't define how I'd be dropping these mockeries. Nice. Wow, that's some good raps. That's the next big hit track from Sniff. He needs to join Clips and release his own album of the year. Sniff's got the rhymes, people. He's got the rhymes in due time. He's a master blaster with the mic. When he touches the mic, you don't go next. It's like hose with Joe Tex. Hey, you don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it. Socrates' philosophies, hypotheses can't define how I'll be dropping these mockeries. It's from the Wu-Tang Clan. Oh, see, nothing original from. He's always got to steal from his fellow brothers. He'd listen to the black music that his parents would give him when he was a kid, and he just had to be a part of the community, So he stole the rap lyrics in order to, he's got Drake syndrome, guys. He's got Drake syndrome. Can't escape what you are, Sniff. Can't escape what you are. But then we had our big time main event between Tatsuro Taira and Hyun Sung Park. And Tatsuro Taira proved why he belonged in the top 5 of flyweight. Just beat the piss out of Hyun-Sung Park. Dominated on the feet. Dropped Hyun-Sung Park. Had the back. Almost locked in the choke multiple times in round 1. And then... Jeez. Sorry. And then in round 2... Oh, Jesus. Got Hyun-Sung Park down again, and was finally able to lock in that rear naked choke. Get her done, brother. Yee! Christ, I've eaten a lot today. But Hyun-Sung Park just honestly looked like Carlos Hernandez in there. The way that Taira was just dismantling him in every aspect. Like, had a clear advantage. It's on short notice, so I get it. Maybe Hyun-Sung Park would have looked better if this wasn't on a few days' notice, but Taira really made it look easy, and there's more than one reason why he had a split decision when lost to Brandon Royval. He kept it on the feet, used his height advantage perfectly, had quick hands too. Like, it's very good that he improved against Carlos Hernandez and showed his striking, because I think it's going to take him a long way here at flyweight. I know I've doubted this kid a lot, but this performance showed why he belongs at an echelon of flyweight. The spirit inside of me, dude, the spirit inside of me violently sticks to silency, while my ciphers decidedly ring sirens and irony. Is that from Wu-Tang as well? You, call you, cough like you, cough like go you, cough like gorilla you, cough like gorilla Zoe you, cough like gorilla Zoe. Is that a great Wu-Tang lyric right there? Yo, Hank, you should try shrooms one day. You'd be lit as fuck. Yeah, probably. I mean, I've been on edibles before, so I'm sort of halfway there, you know. Trump said that. The spirit inside of me violently sticks to silency while my ciphers decidedly ring sirens and irony. I think Trump's brain would break and he'd have a stroke. I wrote that for y'all. Damn. That's some peak rhymes right there. Let me think of something. Taira is trying to be relevant like a virus. Park choking on his biceps, crying out, crying like a Zionist. Taira says UFC thank you. Then he's back to Bang Woo out in Seoul in South Korea. Oh God, no. Taira top 5 flyweight, rise and prospect, snaps necks, signs checks. Yo, say thank you. I gotta go to the bathroom. Lost to Royval, sunk his naval system, back to Japan like it's Pearl Harbor. I think you should watch Viva La Bam and try shrooms. I second that. I tried watching Pink Floyd over Wizard of Oz while on marijuana. I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, moths, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rabbit, you name it. Trump is a ghostwriter for several rappers, and we like that. That's why Snoop D-O-double-G, he endorsed me for president, and we like that. Great stuff. I look at my African American over there. Great African American. Well, my name is Hank, and I'm here to say, and I watch MMA every day, and I watch UFC in a major way, and I call it like I see it. Poetic masterpiece, Police. I pass the piece. My sound, it sounds unique because I pound a pound of pink. Oh, God, this is getting bad. And they said white folks can't rap. Well, my name is Hank, and I'm here to say, Lord of the Pies is my best bay. critiques my channel in Discord. Well, I slapped him around till he slapped me back, and he snapped my back. Now I'm back to the past Samurai Jack. Watch. Well, my content's mediocre, but oh Jesus. I'll broker a deal. I'm gonna end the stream in 5 minutes, you feel? Cause my shit is whack. Samurai Jack, back to the past. You intake my streams like crack. Even though my shit is whack. I bring it all back to UFC, WWE, TKO. Oh no, mama said knock you out. Mama gonna scream and shout. Excellent. TKO has TKOs of UFC. Dana White is bros with Turkey Al Sheik. Cops a feel with his hands. Gobbles up the turkey and gets $1 million grand. What's up, bro? How's it going, Trace? Good. Gets 500 grand. I'm doing all right, man. Just breaking down two of the sports that I love. Well, one of them is a sport. The other's more for entertainment. And we like that. Very good entertainment. Dank Hank, that's me. Always having to wade through the marsh waters as I'm invading the Germans. It's tough being a tank sometimes, especially when I'm a Russian tank, just getting destroyed every single day, Lost their artillery. Can you believe that? But, yeah, good for Tatsuro Taira. I am happy, Tanko! That Taira won. I'm happy too! Yeah, I'm very happy that Taira won. I think Taira actually has some potential, so he should not lose here, and that is not what happened, It's very good, very good. Oof. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up fight night. But I got 12 out of 14 correct on this card, so not bad for me, not bad. And let's get over to SummerSlam. Let's get it over with, my friends. Starting with the Saturday card. Actually, I did want to. Did I want to? I mean, I could share some. No, I don't have to. Happy Tire One. What are your thoughts on Park? I think he was just put in a bad situation. I think against other unranked prospects, I think he'd be doing a lot better. But honestly, who was the fighter that was giving him a tough time when he started? I forget. Let me look that up. Because I remember somebody was sort of giving him a competitive fight in like one of his first fights in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. I think Seung Guk Choi was giving him a tough time. Yeah, that's who it was. Seung Guk Choi, 6-1. I think he almost lost to him. So I don't know. I think he comes close to being ranked, but then somebody who's a very good striker just gets in the way and knocks him out, in my opinion. Although I will say that it was just a tough, short notice matchup for him to get. I think he's going to lose a few fights after this one. I think he'll bounce back, but then somebody who's ranked or just outside the rankings is going to beat him up. Hank, the Panzerschweck tank, that is me. This is true. Did you see anything to make you excited? Let me think. I'm always excited when I watch Esteban Ribovic. Neil Magny, I'm excited to see him continue in the UFC. I'm excited that Nakamura is getting back to finishing people. Polyev, looking forward to him. Austin Bashi has got a bright future. So, yeah, I'd say I'm pretty excited. Lols. Anyway, we got SummerSlam now. Saturday card. And I think, honestly, the user rating for this one is a good reflection of how the card went. Only 2 matches on this card were all that great. And those were Uso and Roman against Breaker and Reed of the Vision. And then the very end with CM Punk beating Gunther to finally win the World Heavyweight title and get a title. And now that he's back in the WWE, even if it was for but a moment. But let me break down everything. So Jay and Roman beat Breaker and Reed. Roman Reigns, the one highlight of this match is that Roman flew over the top rope and he just looked like vintage Roman Reigns. I think he's like 37, 38 at this point. Like, he's getting up there in age. He's not the big dog, not the young gun prospect anymore. Like, he's a old crafty vet, big meaty hooks. Yeah. He's an experienced veteran, but even at his age, is like late 30s, he still can do a huge top rope move. Flew over the ropes, honestly, almost like broke his spine. He hit like the very top of Bronson and then flew over him. Like, it's lucky that Bronson was able to like grab his leg and like make it look like Roman hit them flush straight on. But very close call. Like, Roman could have seriously, it could have been like an Undertaker or Shawn Michaels moment where Undertaker flew over the ropes and landed head first onto a cameraman. Oof, nasty stuff. So I'm glad that was not a botch. It came close to one though. There was some back and forth action, building up the heat. Oh, the hot tag to Roman. Oh, the place blows. Pretty good stuff. Nice back and forth, insane, chaotic action. So I'm happy with how that match turned out. I'm 21 minutes. I'm glad it didn't go longer, honestly. Old man Reigns. Yeah, I mean, he's got gray hairs on his beard, man. He's getting up there. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if he retired within like the next 5 years, because as he famously said once, his name was Joe in Hawaii and he had leukemia and actually bounced back from that and had to get a surgery for it and then ended up in remission. Like, who knows if, the leukemia is going to come back at some point or not. So yeah, Roman needs to treat himself with care, because I'm assuming that leukemia hasn't completely gone away, but hopefully we get a few more good years out of him. Some keep themselves healthy for a long time, and others are just sort of plagued with stuff from a very early age, sort of like Ultimate Warrior. And then we had Alexa Bliss and Charlotte beating the Judgment Day, the women's tag team champions in the Judgment Day for the tag team titles. This was another all right match. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair have very good chemistry together, put it on display. The best thing that WWE could have honestly done for Charlotte was to let her relax a little bit and stop having the stupid queen of WWE persona, because honestly, fans have been sick of it since 2017, 2018. Literally all Charlotte is Charlotte wins, lol, They're tired of her just winning world titles and being in main event after main event. She's sort of like the old Roman Reigns of the women's division, in that she just always sticks around, never has any good material, was botching matches and beating up like other competitors, like for real, like shoot boxing with Nia Jackson, leaving her bloodied up, like just crazy work. So she needed a break. She needed some relaxation and a change in her booking, and pairing her up with Alexa Bliss and having them go on like a Team Hell No kind of like enemies turns friends kind of, angle has actually been very good, because for the first time in forever, the fans are actually starting to cheer for Charlotte. They're starting to actually get excited when she competes, which I don't think the WWE fan base has had for Charlotte in a very, very long time. But yeah, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Who cares? Yeah, let them lose. The hype is behind Alexa and Charlotte. The two have pretty good chemistry together. After the match, they had sort of a hug it out, hug it out. The fans were pushing for it, and they hugged. Oh, the place went crazy. Like, booking is not hard, people. Like, wrestling booking is not that difficult. And when you're just able to have two wrestlers who have good chemistry and put them together and slow cook it, and like, it results in some magic. And it's been happening here. And the fans went crazy when Bliss and Charlotte won. So again, very good for them. But it's the start of what would be a pretty the main problem for this card, which is look at the times of the matches. 8 minutes. 7 minutes. How could you book any match on a pay-per-view card and book it for less than 10 minutes? Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross, those two could have had a barn burner. Those two could have had a fantastic match, and you gave them 8 minutes? What the hell's wrong with you? You know? For no good reason. Like, when it's a pay-per-view card, every single match should go at minimum like 12 minutes. 15 minutes. This isn't fucking Raw or SmackDown. It's a TV taping. You gotta, high risk, or high stakes. You should give them enough time to tell a story. If you've been building it up for weeks and audience investment, telling a story for forever, and then give them 8 minutes to work, like, what do you think's going to happen? Disaster and crap matches. That's what's going to happen. And Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross only went 8 minutes. Still managed to tell a decent story of, well, Sami Zayn turned to the dark side and he didn't. And then he said, screw you, Scarlett, and then beat up Karrion Kross, pinned him for the win. Good for Sami, but honestly, it's sort of bad for Karrion Kross because the dude clearly has good, he's clearly talented on the mic, can clearly cut a passionate promo when he needs to, has a lot of untapped potential, but he's just not booked like it. He's just never given that chance to shine, and has mostly just been sort of cannon fodder and like, oh, I'm angry at the world, and that kind of character, which almost never goes well. So good for Sami, but honestly terrible booking. And then Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. A lot of people are angry that Stratton beat Jade and see no reason for why this match should have been booked at all. But honestly, I think it's good. I think it's good that Stratton beat Jade because Jade is going to have to fight Bianca Belair at some point for the world title. So it just makes sense to have Jade lose here. 7-minute match. This is understandably 7 minutes because Jade is not good in matches that go over 10 minutes. But Stratton, honestly, people have sort of turned on her as the champion, which is a shame because, we always like our shiny new toys on Christmas morning. And then once we've played with them for a little bit, we just toss them aside and they don't mean anything. And that's basically what we have here with Tiffany Stratton's title run. People were excited at first, and now it's just all that hype is just plunged off a cliff. For that reason, I think a lot of people wanted Jade to win here, but honestly, her big title win is going to be against Bianca Belair. So can't really have Jade win it right away. Otherwise, you'd have to have Bianca beat Jade, and that's not happening. So yeah, it's best that Stratton won this. Short-ass match. So be it. If Jade made a mistake, I honestly didn't watch this match. But I'm assuming Jade made some mistake and Stratton quickly capitalized. So yeah, simple enough story. Had to do what you had to do. And then Drew and Logan Paul against Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. Useless match. 17 minutes. You give Zayn versus Cross 8 minutes. And then Drew and Logan versus Roll, Jelly, whatever the fuck his name is, and Randy Orton, you give them 17 minutes. What the hell's the point in that? Makes no sense. Jelly Roll, I mean, they hope that they'll get like a Bad Bunny kind of moment, a Star is Born, but nobody cared for this match. nobody cared for this match. And Jelly Roll lost, so there's all that hype down the drain. I'm glad that Drew won though, because Drew definitely needs more W's. And if anything, I think Drew McIntyre should be the world champion at some point, but it's just my opinion. Yeah, just a waste of a match, celebrity match bullshit. You know, it's good that these celebrities lose, honestly, because when they win, it's never really good. I mean, unless it's Bad Bunny, I guess, but just a waste. Who cares about Jelly Roll as a wrestler? Dude, like, he's called Jelly Roll for a reason. The dude is like fat as hell, so probably not going to have that great a future in the WWE unless it makes him, you know, lose some weight. But yeah, waste of a match. And then we had the match that pretty much single-handedly stole the show between Seth Rollins, CM Punk and Gunther. This was just an old school heel versus face, you know, the young champion against the old challenger kind of storytelling, where the old guys getting beaten on by the younger competitor, but the wily veterans, you know, craftiness and intelligence and experience starts to turn things around. Gunther gets super cocky. CM Punk just bounces his head off the table, makes him bleed, having an old school Texas, you know, death match, street fight kind of scrap, you know, really good stuff. And CM Punk, honestly, he's the gift that keeps on giving in the WWE. The dude just knows how to make a WWE match like memorable and good. And yeah, Gunther, I think Gunther is very good in high stakes matches. Like, it's the kind of dude you want in a main event, because the guy knows how to tell a long match and draw it out and get people invested. And then, oh my God, the big ending, you know, like, that's Gunther's bread and butter, and it worked perfectly here. And Punk was very good at just taking a licking and keeping on ticking, just beating the dog shit out of Gunther towards the end. Great use, like, did the classic spot where Gunther just lets the spit fly when he got hit with the GTS. Then another one, boom, 1, 2, 3. Really good back and forth story, classic stuff. Rightfully went 30 minutes. It's a world heavyweight title match, but doesn't mean that the other matches have to suffer, in my opinion. And then, folks, we had the ruse of the century with Seth Rollins limping his way to the entrance ramp. Perfect. Just as soon as Punk raised the title, bam, Seth's music plays. And let me share this. The moment of truth. Seth Rollins is like telling CM Punk, "Oh, enjoy it while you can, because I'm coming for the belt." And then he's just, you know, limping away. Paul Heyman's at his side. We think, oh, it's just some anticlimax. Oh, we'll have this moment on for the vignettes in a year. Nope. Seth Rollins is limping, and then he just stands, tosses the crutches away. Just, this is the kind of wrestling that you love, like cinematic, theatrical, dramatic, like moments. Like, at the end of the day, people, that is what wrestling is all about. It's just individual moments of memorable drama, and this is perfect soap opera bullshit storytelling. And Seth's on the crutches, and then he just lets him go, and oh my God, Seth's fine. He faked it. Oh my God, he pulled the wool over our eyes, and then takes off his leg crutch and throws off the jacket, and he's ready to wrestle, and then just beats the shit out of CM Punk, just smacks him over the head over and over with the briefcase, gives it to the ref. All he needs is one curb stomp, 1, 2, 3, and cherry on top, Seth Rollins is, you know, enjoying the world title, hanging it over his head, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker at his side, and then he does the classic little cross legs on CM Punk, just sits down. Heyman does it too, and they're just, you know, gloating over CM Punk's corpse, basically reveling in it, rubbing it in his face, insult to injury. Love it. Love that stuff. Let me see if I can find the highlights. But let me mention this all. Oh yeah, so this was Boom. Yeah, what great visuals. Just him coming in on the crutches and then bam, fake out. But this is also pretty cool too. Look at the lengths that Seth went to convince everybody that he was actually injured, because he pretended against old LA Knight. Hold on. There we go. Why can't? Jesus, come on. Okay, I'll share it anyway. But here's Seth pretending to be injured. Let's see if there's another one. Look at this. There's Seth walking with his daughter on crutches. Like, this is old school. Like, pretend that injury's real. Walk around in real life, sporting crutches. Like, play the sympathetic card. Have Becky record you walking around on your phone. Like, classic kayfabe stuff. And then for him to just go from this to that is just fantastic. Hank, I'm going to need to see your papers. Why, dude? I'm as pale as a ghost. I do not need to show you my papers, and you are not getting let inside Immigration and Customs Enforcement. You got it? Listen, I'm one of you guys. Okay? I bankrolled the president. I joined the lobbyist group. I got him elected. If I shaved my head, I'd be your Stephen Miller, you know? Just leave me alone, guys. Leave me alone. You can't do this to a Jew. Isn't Trump against anti-Semites these days? Come on now. But yeah, incredible moment. Let's see if I can find anything else. Yeah, here's the image of truth. Yes, sir. What about Vinny? Is he here legally? Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure. He's been in the country for a good while. I mean, honestly, me and Vinny would probably beat the shit out of you. So I'd be careful if I was you, or else we're going to go on a riffing session and we're going to insult the shit out of you. You better not be no chill, I'll tell you that much. I'll get you. I swear to God. But yeah, fantastic moment. Great closer to honestly what was a mediocre show. But then let's go over night 2, because honestly, this was the real main event. This was the SummerSlam everybody wanted to see. But honestly, guys, hold on. Here we go. So the rating right here is a 7.64 for SummerSlam, but it was not always a 7.64. If we look back at the initial ratings for this show, literally a couple hours after it finished, let's take a look. This is what the rating was prior. 5.87 with 0 out of 10 ratings. And it was all over the Brock shit and all the drama regarding that and the ethics of it and commenters making insults about each other for their ratings, like as like litmus tests for morality and all this shit. And the host for Cage Match lost his fucking shit and posted this like immediately afterwards, and it reads, here we go. Matt Max, here's the deal. If you write a comment about other users' ratings, comments, or opinions, you will lose your ratings and comments or be banned. If you write a comment about how we administrate the site, you will be banned. I am sick and tired of this. All ratings and comments for SummerSlam and its matches were removed. I don't have the time nor will to browse through hundreds of comments where half of them just sling shit at each other. Grow up. You can still view your ratings and comments for both events and matches in your ratings profile for now. You can copy them from there and repost them for the event and or the matches to make them appear and be counted again publicly. But be warned, the rule above is in effect now. There is a reminder in the rating form. I have no patience left for people who continuously think that the rules do not apply to them. We don't need you to tell us that the internet wrestling community sucks. We know. We don't need you to comment on other users or even in the bestest of faiths. You are not helping. We especially don't need you to tell us that others should not care about ooh because it is alleged or might be settled out of court. What the fuck is wrong with you? So what to even say about this? Yeah, again, they let real life stuff get involved in ratings and comments on a cage match. The host just said that's enough. We're done. So honestly, sort of based, because immediately what happens afterwards, if we check the rating now, what do you know? It is a 7.64. 7.6 out of 10, which it rightfully deserves because this show had 3 or 4 great matches on it, and it was really quality, honestly, from front to back. Brock is back. Watch Clown Show. Hello. Yes, Brock is indeed back, and it's good too because apparently, 14 14 days ago, like a couple weeks ago, it was disclosed from WWE's legal team that Brock was legally cleared for all involvement in the Vince McMahon sexual harassment, trafficking controversy, and the case against him, the sexual allegations. That Brock Lesnar was named in them, but apparently he's been cleared of all doubt or guilt within that controversy and that lawsuit. So good for Brock. Justice has prevailed. Brock Lesnar is an innocent man. He did not take any of the he did not accept any opportunities from Vince to get involved in his trafficking schemes and his creepy Diddy-like pastimes. He rejected Vince's advances, basically, no homo. And good for Brock because now he gets to wrestle for Papa H again and doesn't have to have a care in the world, and as well as get his hundreds of millions of dollars to show up. So good for him. And now Lesnar's an innocent man, sort of like O.J. Simpson. But anyway, yeah, Sunday was a way better show than Saturday. Naomi beat Io Sky and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat. 16 minutes, perfect amount of time for that. Io's great at high-flying stuff. Ripley has the power, and Naomi's the X Factor, wily, crafty, sneak, able to get the roll-up for the win. Perfectly booked. Perfect amount of time you can give to a triple threat, women's triple threat. Lots of fun sequences, flipping back and forth, chain wrestling stuff, very, very well done. And Naomi got the win, which makes sense. She needs to lose the belt to Bianca Belair, somebody that makes sense. So makes sense that she wins here. And honestly, keep up the triple threats because they're all great. Women's triple threats are always fantastic. Women's multi-women matches, very good, especially if you ask Vince. Vince is a big fan, pal. Yeah. So good for Naomi. And then we had probably the best match of the night. Let me think. Yeah, it was the best match of the night between Wyatt Six, DIY, Andrade Ray, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns. God, just look at all that talent, man. So many good teams here. Street Profits. All of them got a chance to shine. Axiom with that Spanish fly through the table was amazing. Montez Ciampa getting out of the way before Frazier could spear him off the ladder was fantastic. Just everything was pretty much executed to a T. Great flip by Montez Ford over the ropes when he was getting thrown through the table. I'm glad the Dudleys were there. That was fantastic because they got a huge nod to the Dudleys in there. Shout out to all the TNA guys that the WWE let into the arena for this show. It was awesome to see the Hardy Boys, current TNA tag team champions there. Gives us hope that Hardy can have one more WWE run. And then Dudley's in there. Got to get the tables with Montez. I only remember Montez Ford. What's wrong with me? Angelo Dawkins, yes. That was great. Easy spot to go through 2 tables. Perfect. When Candice LeRae went through a table, that was fan-freaking-tastic. Super good coordination with that. Wyatt Six get the win. Perfect. I think perfectly done. I'm glad they went through like 4 tables all around the ring. I love it when they do that. Perfectly coordinated. Not a botch I could think of. So one of the rare moments where a tag team ladder matches, TLC matches done to perfection, and that includes the Dudleys and Hardys and Edge and Christian stuff. So congrats to these 6 teams. They got it done. They put on an absolute show, and it was beautiful booking to put them all together in a giant TLC match because they delivered 100%. And then Becky Lynch beat Lyra Valkyria. Sort of a sloppy affair, 25 minutes. How come they gave the wrestlers so much time on Sunday and gave them no time on Saturday? Just makes zero sense. But Becky Lynch did some good heel work. Lyria sold well. There was some stuff that was just sort of janky and slow and miscoordinated, but for the most part, it was just a brutal, well-told match with a lot of drama. There was a part where Becky got Lyra's hands zip-tied, got her tied together, beat the crap out of her with a kendo stick. It was definition of a no DQ match. Both women just beat the shit out of each other, bouncing each other off tables, putting each other through chairs. I'd say it was pretty good. And then, God, who came in at Bailey showed up. That added the drama, which was very good. Told a story at the very end. But yeah, I'd say it was sort of reminded me of like Triple H versus Batista. It's like a lot of props getting involved, but I mean, it's no DQ, so I guess you have to. But I don't know. It was all right, but there were just some moments that sort of dragged, or there were some botches here and there, so it's hard for me to fully get into this. Why, sir, are you wearing your yellow badge? Jesus, Ernst, aren't you supposed to be dead, dude? You were supposed to be dead since like fucking 1940 something, dude. Go fucking crawl back into your crypt, dude. Please. Dig yourself back into the ground. But yeah, Becky did, most of the work. Lyra and Becky just went back and forth around the ring, the standard stuff. Wasn't really anything too unique. I mean, the zip tie stuff was pretty good. No Diddy, but yeah, it was an all right no DQ match. Nothing too memorable except maybe the zip ties. And then Sikoa and Jacob Fatu had a steel cage match, and I did not watch it because it looked so bad, and it was. Solo retained, which is terrible. And then Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles had a back and forth contest. Only went 10 minutes. Didn't hear that much good about it, so didn't watch it. Then we had the main event, which sort of let everything go full circle. Finally, put a nice bow on the show. Cody Rhodes beat John Cena in a street fight, and this is my cup of tea when it comes to extreme matches. Just going around, going out into the crowd, beating each other senseless with parts of the ring, having some good moments of actual wrestling here and there, but mostly just beating each other's brains in with foreign objects. Top rope move. Dude, at one point, Cena executed a code red. Beautiful, dude. That is the move that veterans pull off, which is the code red. Just don't even have to do too much, but it looks super impressive. So I'm glad Cena was able to pull it off. Going through the barricade, smashing each other over against the corner. There was that super cool moment of John Cena punching Cody Rhodes into like the backstage area, then doing the fucking ramp like Cody uses to, ascend onto the entrance ramp. Did that with Cody on his shoulders. That was awesome. Both men like really threw everything in the kitchen sink at each other, and it was really good. This was the kind of match that a lot of people expected them to have at WrestleMania, but honestly, Cena said he wanted to ruin wrestling and didn't need to wrestle to beat Cody. So honestly, why are we even surprised that it was a lousy match when Cena said he literally wasn't going to wrestle to beat him? It was going to be some drama shit regardless. But this was, the old Cena coming back, and so therefore it was a good match. Makes all the sense in the world. Clearly showed that they could have put on a good match if they wanted to, but just didn't for storyline reasons. Cena clearly still has it in him because given enough time, he put on a fucking classic here against Cody Rhodes. And yeah, spry as ever. 5-knuckle shuffle, AA over and over again, top rope, attitude adjustment. Took all of Cody's moves perfectly, back and forth. At great counter move into the STF at one point. And yeah, really good storytelling, showing Cody Rhodes being willing to do what he needed to do to win, which is what the story of Cody was since the initial heel turn of John Cena. And fantastic match. Cody got the belt back. Fantastic. People blew. Honestly, more people were on Cena's side than Cody. It just makes sense because everybody's going to, cheer Cena and boo Cody. Old guy against the new guy. They're going to cheer the old guy. Just makes sense. Especially when it's John Cena, one of the greatest to ever do it. I still won't say the greatest of all time. I would not go that far. I'd say Undertaker and Stone Cold and The Rock and Ric Flair and all those. Well, maybe not Ric Flair, but Cena's on the Rushmore, just not, not number one. But great match regardless. Cena lifts Cody's hand. It's a great passing of the torch kind of moment. Very feel good towards the end. It's sort of nice to see that Cena's babyface turn was legitimate because he'll need it against Brock Lesnar, who's the ultimate evil fucking killer monster heel. So they need a babyface in that one, and that was John Cena in this case. So yeah, I mean, I think everybody wanted the old Cena back. This heel run John has not been the best, to be honest, for various reasons. Just not booked well. Rock ruined the WrestleMania match by not showing up. Cena honestly doesn't perform very well as a heel. That's understandable. He's like playing it that way, but we want to have big match John who can put on classics. We want that John. So wasn't going to happen while he was a heel, but now I'm glad he's able to as a face. Also his stuff with R-Truth, the early stuff, that match was terrible. Honestly didn't have a good defense until this one against Cody. So yeah, he needed to lose the belt. And now that he has, he can feud with Brock and have a fantastic closing feud with him. I think it's going to be great. Yeah, let me go through the highlights in the meantime. Kansas LeRae going through a table was pretty damn good. Then Brock Lesnar came back. Look at him, dude, in all his glory. Hell yeah. There's some cowboy shit right there. And the old Montana boy, yee. Looked great. Literally dressed in a black hat. Perfect. Cowboy Brock fully back in action right where he started. Cena just looked like he'd seen a ghost. Just mouth dropped, jaw dropped. Just looks fantastic. What else? Yeah, Naomi won. Who cares? Let me take a look at this. There's that Spanish fly. That was a great moment. Yeah, good stuff. Let's go. Lay out John Cena flat. Hopefully we don't get like SummerSlam 2014 kind of rematch where it's just Brock dominating John Cena over and over again. I mean, it could happen. Could happen again. Honestly, makes the most sense. But I think these two could still have a really good competitive match together, sort of like Extreme Rules 2012 kind of stuff, you know. And yeah, Brock was legally cleared. So good for Brock. And I think he's going to have a great little mini feud with John Cena. These two have great, you know, great personalities. They're always making for good rivals. Honestly, maybe a better rivalry than Orton and Cena. Just saying, more memorable. Really, really well done for the most part. Visceral hatred for each other, which is honestly missing between Orton and Cena. So, yeah, super good. Honestly, really good SummerSlam, especially with Seth cashing in, and then the Brock return. So, honestly, a huge success from WWE, and this is a big bounce back for them after honestly a pretty atrocious period. It's good to see them coming back and producing good stuff again. Hey, baby. So, like, you come around here often? I've got a beer. You have braces. I have braces too. Beavis, we have reached the promised land. Oh, yeah. Shut up, bunghole. Leave the chick for me. No way, asswipe. It's time. I think we have scored the motherlode, Beavis. We will finally score. Yeah, score. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for my recap. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes for some closing comments, and then probably going to end the stream. So appreciate you guys, troopers and grinders. Thank you for watching. Hope you found my little slideshow presentation informative. Don't bogart it, dude. Save some for me. Give me some nachos, bunghole. Oh, yeah. Nachos. Lady Gaga. Sugar. Coffee. I think that's going to do it. So, thank you guys for watching. I have been Hank the Tank. You have been the troopers and grinders. And, of course, as always, you have escaped the war zone. For now. This sucks. Whoa. I think I just figured something out.